All right, everyone, welcome to the Life of Great podcast, and this is your host, Fulfillment Obi. I'm glad, I'm happy, I'm excited because we're having a special guest in the house, Robert Maiolo. Sorry if I don't pronounce your name well. So he's going to be sharing with us his knowledge, insight, wisdom, something to help us navigate our life better. I know a lot of us listening to this podcast want to live a better life. We want to be able to get to the point in our life where we'll be comfortable to actually realize our dream. We want to be able to navigate our way through the hurdles and the challenges of life. And Robert here will be helping us do that. He will be sharing with us his experience from his book, and the wisdom and knowledge he has gathered over the years. So Robert, just say hello to the audience, introduce yourself, and tell us what you'll be telling us, teaching us today.
Awesome. Thanks so much, first of all, and thank you for having me. Hey, everyone. My name's Robert. I live in Toronto here with my wife. I'm an author of the book With No Answers. It's a book about self-discovery, about finding yourself, and about navigating life's journey. I think what I talk to you guys about today, and pretty much what the book is about the questions you can ask yourself in life. So rather than reading this book or looking at this podcast or trying to ask other people for answers and solutions to your life, what are questions you can ask yourself to unlock some of the answers that you already have? So my theory is that a lot of people already have a lot of the answers to their problems in life. They're just not asking themselves the right questions, and they might not be going about it the right way. So I kind of focus more around questions you can ask yourself around self-discovery and self-awareness to help navigate some of life's ups and downs when they inevitably come your way.
All right, that's beautiful. I love that. And I want us to just get straight to talking about life. Life is something most people are having a hard time figuring out. So from your experience, what do you think hold most people back? Like, what do you think is a major challenge, like an obstacle that a lot of people cannot break out from when they are trying to get their life in shape or do something that is worthwhile?
Yeah, I think where a lot of people struggle is they don't know what to do, and they maybe don't know what to work on. And I really struggled with this in my early 20s when I graduated from university. You get so used to going to university, you have to be at this lecture, write this essay, finish this test, and then you graduate and you get into life and they just go do whatever you want. Whatever you want. You want to go to China, go to China. You want to run a marathon, run a marathon. Do whatever you want. So people sit around and they go, okay, what do I want to do? And they don't have anything to work on. They don't have any assignments. They don't have any papers. So I think some of the things that people struggle with is they just don't have a task list to do. And one thing that you can learn from, if some people here, if you have a day job, one thing you can learn from is at your day job, you go in and they have 50 things for you to do. And you know exactly what needs to be done, you just don't have enough time to do it. Whereas in life, sometimes it's the opposite. You have time to do things. You just sit around, you don't know what's the best thing to do. There's so many options, so much opportunity in life, but you can sometimes be paralyzed by the options.
Yeah, I totally get that. I think most of us struggle with that in our journey because I think most people are not sure of what they want to do with their life. They're like, oh, if I try this, is it going to work out at the end of the day? If I do this, will it be profitable? So that uncertainty is what holds most people back, and it doesn't allow them to take the decisions that could help them level up their life. So how would you advise someone deal with a situation as like that when you're just confused, you don't know what to really do, and you're uncertain how things are going to turn out for you at the end of the day?
Yeah, I think a good thing to do is to kind of just take a step back a little bit and maybe think about some of your motivations and think about maybe who you are. That's one of the things that I kind of started with in my self-discovery journey, is start out with who you are. So if you think of your life as a map, where start with where you are to get to where you want to be, the first thing you need to figure out is where you are. What that means is, who are you? And that's a difficult question to answer. Who am I? Very difficult question to answer. So maybe you can start with something a little easier. Like, what do I care about? What do I offer to the world? What have I been through that maybe other people have not been through? What do I want people to know about me? These kind of smaller, easier to digest questions will help you understand who you are as a person. Because once you figure out who you are as a person, then you can start to understand some of your motivations in life and understand some of the things that you want to do in life. And I think this like uncertainty comes from not knowing who you are and not knowing what you want. But if you're someone who knows who you are and you know what you want, then there is no uncertainty. Yeah, there is no more uncertainty when you have that map in your life of where you are today and where you want to be in the future. So I would encourage people to think about their life's roadmap or their map in life and think about the 2 points. Who am I? Who do I want to be?
I get everything you say. Like, before you can figure out what to do with your life, you should be able to understand who you are, like your identity. But most times it's scary asking the question, who am I? It can lead to a lot of other confusion, and you start thinking. But if you can break things down, like, what do I love doing? What can I contribute to the world? How can I make the world a better place? What have I gone through that will really help me inspire other people? Those things begins to help us understand ourselves better. And I really think that that's the best way to go. So my next question is this. You were talking about questions we ask ourselves and how they relate to navigating our life journey. So how do you think those things correlate? Questions we ask ourselves and navigating our life journey. Do you think they connect? And if they do, how important are they to helping us get better and to live better lives?
Yeah. So I would say they're very correlated, because navigating, if you think of your life's journey, kind of like how I was saying before, if you think of your life's journey as a map, and it starts from where you are today to where you want to go. If you don't know who you are today, then you don't know where you're starting from. You don't know what you stand for. You don't know what it is you like. You don't know what it is you would like to achieve one day. You don't have any of that certainty. And on the flip side, if you don't know where you're going, or if you don't know what you want, then you won't know where you're going. If you don't know the person you want to be 10 years from now, you'll never know if you're going the right way. You'll never know if you're going on the right path. So I like to think of it, if you're, let's say you're in your car and you're driving somewhere and you go on Google Maps. Google Maps asks you 2 questions. Where are you right now, and where you want to go? And I don't think life is that much more difficult, or even different, really. Figuring out where you are today and where you want to be in the future. And once you have that, then you can start to think of the map. Once you think, okay, I want to be a doctor 10 years from now, then you can research, what do I need to do to be a doctor 10 years from now? If I want to be a father 10 years from now, I can research what it is I need to do in order for that to happen. And the steps become so much more clear when you have an idea of the direction that you're trying to go to and the thing that you're trying to achieve. So understanding these things about yourself, asking yourself these questions, will help you draw out your map and give you, again, like I said before, something to work on, something to achieve. I think I lost you again. I think, if you think about your life kind of like a map in terms of where you are today and where you want to be in the future, that's literally your life's journey. Where you are, whatever today is in August, all the way to where you want to be maybe 10 years from now. Your life literally is like a map. And if you want to figure out where you are today, then you need to understand who you are as a person, the things that motivate you, what makes you happy, what can you contribute to the world, and the way you could find these out is by asking these questions and kind of delving deep into these things throughout your life. Then when it comes to navigating your life's journey, asking yourself these questions will enable you to figure out who you want to be maybe 10 years from now. So if you think about maybe what your future looks like and kind of the person you want to be in the future, you can ask yourself questions to figure out, what is this thing that I'm trying to achieve? What is it that I'm trying to get to? What another way to think about, who do I want to be? What does success mean to me? How do I see myself in the future? And again, the reference I used before is if you're on your phone and you're trying to maybe use Google Maps, Google Maps asks you two questions. Where are you right now and where do you want to go? So you turn on my location and then you type in the restaurant 10 minutes down the street. Life is no different. You got to figure out who you are today, where are you today, and where do you want to go? How are you going to get there? And through that, things become so much more clearer, and the path to get there becomes much clearer as well.
All right, that's beautiful. I love the analogy with Google Map. So, in essence, it's just like saying that, oh, this is where I am right now. What do I want to be? Who do I want to be? And in between, there are a lot of steps, a lot of actions that you need to take. But those questions will help you figure out where to get started from, thereby reducing the confusion, the anxiety, and giving you the clarity of mind to move forward. Now, I'm starting to see how asking the right questions connects with navigating your life. So it's really easy, it's really straight to the point. Now, the next question I would like to ask is this. There are people who have asked this kind of question. Okay, they were like, oh, I really want to be in this place, and they asked themselves those questions and they started working towards it, but along the line they realized that, oh, I'm stuck, it's difficult, I don't think I can go on any further, this are not what I expect. So what do you think can be done? Because that's also where navigation come in, to pull yourself out of that difficult situation.
Yeah, for sure. So I think the first thing you need to do is, before you even start, you need to embrace the uncertainty and understand that it is impossible to have a perfect map in life. It's impossible to have a perfect journey. It's impossible to know every single way or every single turn to make, every single direction to go to. And I think once you accept that in the beginning, you're much more understanding of that as your life goes on. And when things go wrong, you don't sit in the corner and wonder, how could things possibly go wrong? I thought I had a plan. I thought I had everything down. What happened? When you understand that this is life, and things are going to happen, and that there's uncertainty and things are going to go wrong, you're much more willing to just be calm and understand that there's solutions, and then you need to find those solutions in life. So step one, understand that nothing's perfect and things are going to go wrong.
So it's all about embracing the journey, understanding that things might get rough, but if this is my goal, I must be willing to work towards it and put in my best. And when I face difficult days, I should just understand that it's not going to last. So I think that's where mindset come in, like setting your mind aright so that you're not phased out by the challenges and difficulties you face as you begin your journey. So I'd love you to also talk about something from your book that you believe will inspire those who are trying to navigate their life journey. Something you believe that, okay, this from my book will really be helpful for people who are either stuck or who are trying to get started on their journey.
Yeah, I would say the thing I would tell those people who are stuck is to just don't worry so much about the size and the importance of the things that you're trying to do, so much as be more concerned about just trying to do something. It's the old analogy of, if you can just get out of bed in the morning, and then if you can just make your bed, and then if you can just brush your teeth, and then if you can go for a walk, and then if you can just find this snowball. If you're stuck and you're lost, then just try to think about one step forward, just one little step you can take. For example, if you wanted to start a podcast and you're stuck, just go on Amazon and look up microphones. Go on Amazon and look up headphones. Think of the shirt you want to wear during your podcast. Like just a little something you can do just to help you move forward. And then you'll notice that these things snowball and you'll inspire more action.
All right, that's great. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. So now let's talk about your book. I saw you showed us a book when we're starting this podcast. I just wanted to talk about something, just one thing from that book that you believe will be really helpful to people who are listening to this episode today.
Yeah, I really like the part. My book is kind of split up into questions you can ask yourself when you're feeling different emotions. So questions you can ask yourself when you feel lost, questions you can ask yourself when you need motivations, questions you can ask yourself when you're sad. I really like this one. Questions when you need motivation. What would you do if you had 1 year left to live? Toby, I lost you, but I think I'm still alive. What would you do if you had 1 year left to live? Not one day, because 1 day is crazy. What would you do if you had 1 year and you still had time to make mistakes, still had time to be a little lazy, still had time to be a person, but you knew that you only had a year left to live? What are the things that you would do? And I like the frame of a year because it puts pressure on you, but it doesn't make you think, oh, I only have 1 day left, so I got to do everything. And I think that's the kind of urgency that you should live your life with. You don't have to do everything today, but you have to do it soon because you don't have nearly as much time as you think. So don't put an insane amount of pressure on yourself that you need to start a podcast in 1 day or become a doctor in 1 day or whatever your goals are. You don't have to do it in 1 day, but can you do it in a year? Or even better, can you do it in a month? Because some people get so focused on trying to achieve things really quickly, and then they get so buried by the gravity of it, they just get stuck, and then years go by and they don't do anything. So wouldn't it be better if those people just thought, if I only had 1 year left, what should I do? And all of a sudden a year becomes enough time to think and to ponder and to take some action and to have some achievements. I like that level of urgency.
Right. So, if I get you correctly, you talked about questions you can ask yourself, and you give yourself a time frame within 1 year. And that 1 year is to help you put into perspective how short your life can be. So you should probably get started to do the things you really want to do. So I don't know if I'm right.
You're right, but also it's a year, so it's not 1 day. So you don't have to do everything today, and you don't have to put all this insane pressure on yourself. You still have time to think and to make a couple mistakes and to try some things out. So it's not 1 day, but it's also not 10 years. It's 1 year. So it's this urgency to get things done, but not necessarily, make this huge checklist where now all of a sudden you feel stuck because you're like, I have all these things to do. How could I possibly do it in 1 day? So finding that medium amount of urgency, I think, is good.
Yeah. So it's just like finding the right balance, the perfect balance between urgency and relaxation, having the peace of mind to do the things you really want to do, and the urgency to do those things as quickly as possible. Yeah, so that's beautiful. That's right. I believe we've learned a whole lot today. And personally, I think this episode has really helped me as well to put things into perspective, to look at most of the things I'm doing in my life, and I can start asking questions like, is this really necessary? Will this drive me towards my goal? Will this help me become the kind of person I will be proud of tomorrow? Will this help me live a better life? I think asking questions is really powerful, and if you can find the right answers to those questions, it can really help us navigate our life better. So before we go, I don't know if there's anything you'd like to say to the audience, any advice, any maybe from experience, something that will help them, that they can remember and hold on to as they're continuing the journey of navigating their life.
Yeah, my message to your audience would be, you probably have problems in your life, and you probably have questions in your life. And I would give yourself more credit to ask yourself questions, because you probably have more answers than you think. You're just not asking yourself the right questions, and maybe you're not trusting yourself. So I would really encourage your audience to sit down by themselves with a piece of paper and a pen and ask themselves some really difficult questions. And I think they will find more answers than they give themselves credit for.
All right, that's beautiful. So you've heard him. So ask yourself the right kind of question and get started on your journey. If you're stuck, think about things differently, make the necessary adjustment, and keep moving. Robert has done a lot of great work today, bringing to us the power of questions and how they can help us navigate our life better. And I'm glad he's able to join us today. So if you want to get in touch with him personally, I'll leave a link in the description of this podcast. You can check the links and get in touch with him personally. Or if you have additional questions, you can drop it on the comment section and we will relay that message to him and get your questions answered. And if you're interested in getting his book, you can also reach out to us. We'll make the necessary arrangement to help you get that book so you can start your journey. So Robert, thank you so much for what you've done today. I am really glad that you made it to the podcast, and I believe that what you said today will help inspire a whole lot of people across the globe. All right, so thank you guys. Till next time on the podcast, stay blessed, stay empowered, and keep winning.